All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dune TV. The Dune TV is there for edutainment and entertainment programs. I'm so glad you're tuned in tonight. Today we have a guest. First of all, before I ask the guest to introduce herself, I will introduce myself. Dr. Erima of the Dune TV. Remember, the Dune TV is there for edutainment and entertainment programs. We are so blessed to have you tonight, our guest. We are going to ask you to introduce yourself and let's keep going. Welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Sofialyn, and I am the Community Engagement Coordinator and the Enact Director at the Ohio History Connection. Enact is the Emerging New American Community team that we have done in Ohio 4 times already.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for your introduction, Sophia. If I said that name really good, we are so happy to have you today. And the reason why we invited you tonight at the Dune TV, first of all, the Dune TV is for edutainment and entertainment programs. And when we heard of Enact, we are so concerned to try to find you to learn so that you can tell us more about Enact. So for this time, we welcome you to tell us more about Enact.
Yeah, so Enact, as I said, is the Emerging New American Community team. It is run by the Ohio History Connection, created by the organization. The Ohio History Connection is the state history museum. So we have over 50 sites throughout the state of Ohio. We are headquartered in Columbus. But as you can see, so right now I'm in Dayton. Our work spans throughout the whole state. So my job as the program director for Enact, so we have done 3 cohorts in Columbus, and we have done our first one out of Columbus here in Dayton, Ohio. We just had our graduation a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we graduated 15 fellows, and we're just really excited.
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
But yeah, Enact is really cool. It is a year-long program where it is taking leaders in your community, so people, volunteers, just people who are stepping it up just because they want to help other people. So the purpose of Enact is getting all these emerging new American leaders. So new American, your immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, first generation Americans. So those who identify with their cultural community, we want them because new Americans are often an underrepresented community. And we want to make sure that we are hearing their voices and that we are elevating them to ways that they haven't historically been before.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that explanation about Enact. If you would explain the word enact, it should be like a short form of, what you do. Would you like talk about like what E stands for, N stands for, A?
Yeah, so Enact is the emerging.
Emerging for E.
Yeah. E
Okay.
for emerging, N for new, A for American, C for community, and T for team.
So that makes up enact that emerging new American.
Community team.
All right, emerging new American community team. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about. If you don't know about Enact, you might be out there asking yourself, what's Enact? What is it about? That's emerging. Enact in full is emerging new community.
New American community team.
Emerging new American community team, and that's a good explanation about it. She just talked about it, what they do, and what's the mission purposely. The mission, is it about creating leaders like new American? Would you say something about that?
Yeah, so the purpose and mission of Enact is to take your leaders that you have in your cultural communities and just elevating them up to a higher uh, just position, making sure that they network with people who have power, that they know sources of where you get information, and making sure that it is accessible to those in their community. Because it's not just other people who are in power talking to these new Americans about, like, hey, this is what we do. It's more of a chance for the new Americans who are here on the ground doing the work, talking to people, being like, hey, this is what we're seeing in our community. What are you who are in power doing to change that? But for right now, if you're not changing it, what can we do about it? Or what resources do you have that we can mitigate these?
Okay. Yeah, that's really something good, and that's really interesting. Probably what on my understanding, you try to bridge the gap between the new leaders or the upcoming leaders with the people in power right now, which is good. I really appreciate that. Someone who is up there. And you want to join, how could they approach you to, to get started with joining the Enact team?
Yeah, so Enact is currently in Central Ohio.
Okay.
We are here in Dayton. We are trying to see if we can get more funding to have a second cohort in Dayton. And we hope to expand more throughout, not just the state, but at least nationally. We would like to give this model of how to make your Enact program to whoever wants it. So if you would like more information, you can please email me at sdurusan@ohiohistory.org. So please reach out. We are creating an Enact model that is going to be just a comprehensive little booklet of, if you want to do this in your own city for your own communities to bridge it together, we would love to have you do it. The best part about Enact is that we don't work alone. We make sure that we work with other people. So we have big partners who are in like public health, the libraries,
Okay.
and then we have like other small organizations who work on the ground. So we have just like your grassroots organizations. Here in Dayton, we had Latinos Unidos. In Columbus, we had Ethiopian Tawahido Social Services. So organizations who are on the ground working directly with the community. So having that mix and making sure we're all working together is what really makes it work and makes it successful.
Okay, good job. Thank you so much. Yeah, people who want to join, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Dune TV. If this is your first time, please, I beg you to subscribe to the Dune TV, like our Facebook page, the Dune TV Facebook page. Remember, the Dune TV, it's your TV. The Dune TV is a people's TV, and that's why we bring in different people with different ideas to share their ideas to see how we can improve and unite and develop a good tomorrow. That's why today we also invited Sofialyn. Is it one of the Ohio History Project Managers?
Yes, I'm the Ohio History Community Engagement Coordinator, or the Enact Program Director. I have a very long title.
Okay, all right. We invited her here so that we can share. She can share with you guys following the Dune TV and the entire world what Enact is all about. So, if I would ask another question, Sophia, um, what kind of people do you need? Does it based on age, color, or people who are trying to do specific things? If you would explain more about that.
For us, for Enact to work, knowing that people come from different backgrounds,
Mm-hmm.
the only two qualifications that we ask is that you are over the age, you are 18 or older, and that you have a working knowledge of English. Even if you don't feel comfortable speaking English, as long as you can receive information in English and know what's being talked about, we want you. Like, we don't care where you come from, what your background is, what your religion is. We want you to be represented. We
Okay.
want to make sure that you feel elevated, that you can ask these questions, and that people are hearing from you. So yeah, those are the only two qualifications for an act.
All right, so it don't matter what age or what color, you're welcoming to everybody.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those who are following again, please, this is a good chance for you guys to join and have something to do that will develop you and develop the entire community at large. So, and that's really something important for you and your family. And yeah, during the closing day, I saw some pictures around, some videos around of people who were talking about different stuff like garden, pregnant women, Santa leopards, things of that kind. Would you please try to talk about that if that's something you also do under your program of Enact?
Yeah, so the real bread and butter of Enact is that for the year that you're with me, the first 6 months, you go to these workshops. It's about 2 hours every time, and you learn about different topics: public health, education, housing, transportation. It all really just depends on what city you are and what the times are. So from all of that information that they received, these fellows for the remainder of 6 months were given a few $100s and basically was told, what do you care about in your community? And what change do you think you can do for your community with this money? So we have seen various projects. As you said, we have someone who talked about women's health, how to help, like what resources do they have? How often are you getting a mammogram? How do you know where to get your yearly pap smear? We had another one that talked about like nutrition for pregnant women, talking about like starting from when they're in the womb. How do you take care of yourself so that way you have a healthy baby? We had one that was really interesting where they made magnets of just rules of basically of driving, of when you see a school bus, do you know if you can go around it? Do you stop? So those were translated into Spanish. So it's basically whatever was needed for the community was what they thought was important would be given. And most of the time it was all translated into whatever the native tongue was for that community. So we've seen Spanish, we've seen Farsi, seen Kinyarwanda.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of different cultures who are coming together learning these things. And it also just like provides them an opportunity not only just to talk to people in their communities, but other people in different new American communities that are going through very similar things as they are. But it's just a little different.
Okay, thank you so much for that explanation again. That time, during that day, I also saw people talk about garden stuff. What was the reason for you guys to start a garden like project? Can you explain more about that?
So as I said, the projects, they're not me. They're never me. They're always the fellows. So the people who join the Enact cohort,
Okay.
it is their what they think is important. So when someone did their gardening classes and making that community garden, it was they wanted this for their community to have access to it. So it was all driven by the people on the ground. All I did was make sure they had the resources, extra manpower. Like my job is to support. I'm not the one driving this at all. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to make sure everything goes smoothly and just making sure the facilitation is worth every second that you're with me, that you're going through this program. So it is mostly, it's just really the passion of the fellows who are driving this. So we've seen so many various ones. We've seen mental health support groups. We've seen diaper drives, PPE drives. It really all just depends on what they're interested in. We've had like a soccer league before.
Okay.
So it really depends on who you are, what you see in your community, and what you think would be right for them. Because I'm not on the ground. I'm not going to speak for your community and what you need. Like, you're there every day. You know what people need. So I just trust you to be that voice.
Okay, so for that reason, for that, are you trying to mean like everyone who joins sometime they need to have like what thing in mind what they need to do, or maybe you guys can suggest what they need to do as inactive members?
Yeah, so some people enact because it's so open and vast to people that it's over the age of 18. Columbus, historically, we've had most of them between the ages of 18 to about 27. Here in Dayton, it has skewed a little bit older to about your late 30s. So different people come from different places. Um, when people come in, some of them, they know exactly what they want to do when they hear about this program. They're like, hey, I know what I want my money to go towards. I know what kind of project I want to go for. But some people come in and as they're learning about different things, it starts to create a spark in them of like, hey, I learned this during my time. I am now seeing that in my community. So what can I do? What other resources can I go into?
Okay.
So yeah, it's never like a thing. Most people by the end of the workshops have an idea of what they want to go into.
Oh yeah.
More of like the realm. It's like, oh, I want to do something in public health, or I want to do something in education, but not necessarily no. So at the end of all of these workshops, I get together with all of the fellows and then our planning committee members who are part of all these different wonderful organizations. We all sit down together and everyone goes through their idea and they're like, hey, this is what I sort of want to do. And then it's everyone else coming in like, hey, have you heard about this? Have you tried doing this? Did you think about this? So it's more building up that idea and making sure that you have multiple input to make sure that your product or your project is successful.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for that brief explanation too. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are following right now, it's Adedun TV. That's where we are, and we are so happy to host Sophia to explain more about Enact and the Ohio history at large. And yeah, if I would ask another question, um, for someone to join Enact, sorry if you said about it and maybe I forgot. Does anybody who wanna join supposed to pay some fee, like a joining fee?
No, there is no fee to join Enact. Actually, we give you money. Depending on the grant, it's not a lot of money. It's not life changing. But we want to make sure we're thanking you for your time. We know it's a lot. Everyone is balancing their lives. They have work, they have school, they have a family. And we
Correct.
just want to make sure that we're balancing that. Even though we're only meeting with you like once or twice a month for about 2 to 4 hours, like you can be doing other things. Like you might need to be at home making dinner. Um, at all of our workshops, we also make sure we have food. We buy food from local immigrant and refugee owned organizations in the city to make sure that we are putting money back into the community. Also, like food is such a big part of culture that brings everyone together. And it gives a chance for everyone, since you have a big mix of people, for an introduction to your culture through your food. So we had like Ethiopian food earlier this year. We had like Mexican food. We
Yeah.
had like Mediterranean food. But yeah, there's no cost to join Enact. We want to make sure we're giving you as much as you need and making sure that there are no barriers for you to do the work that we do. It really is my job to make sure I am supporting you in any which way that I can, whether that be helping you find a bus route to the library for the meeting, if it is making sure that just any of that other stuff. We've had people, sometimes they need to bring their children, and that's honestly fine. You just tell me and I can make your accommodations. I want to make sure that you are getting the most out of this and that as long as you want to be there and you want to get this information, I'm here for it. I'll do whatever it is to make sure that you are supported.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's at the Dune TV with Sophia, the Enact project or higher history manager, whatever you can call it. And we are so glad to have her tonight. As you heard, she said, joining Enact is free of charge. You don't have to pay any fee. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're out there, you have some time to spend or to do something, help the community as you help yourself. It's a really good time for you guys to join Enact in Ohio and Columbus, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Ohio and Columbus. Yes, thank you so much again. If this is your first time at the Dune TV, please, I encourage you to subscribe to the Dune TV. Remember, the Dune TV is there for edutainment and entertainment programs, and that's why we bring to you this kind of talk, so that you can learn from and also teach other people in the future. Yeah, thank you so much, Sophia, for coming again. We're really blessed to have you here. And for someone who wanna join, if I ask, do they have to be with a specific? Do you guys have a specific schedule, time when you do the Enact activities, or?
Yes. So, because as I said, everyone has their own different schedules. For the most part, we try to make sure we either meet in the evenings or we meet on the weekends. It all just depends on the cohort too. So I make sure before I schedule a lot of things that it can meet the schedule of the cohort itself. So I make sure to not go around anyone's holidays. And then making sure that everything, especially like food, when I bring it in, that it is good with everyone's dietary restrictions. But yeah, try to be as accommodating as possible. You don't have to pay anything. I'm just here to help you. As long as you're here for your community, I'm here to support you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are really blessed again to have you. And we're almost reaching to the end of this discussion. So for now, we are going to ask people who are following us to subscribe and comment if they have a question to ask you sometime in the future. We may host you again for more information that we want to learn from you, or for more advice. Again, thank you so much for coming. For now, we are going to end the video, but before we end the video, give a message to the youth who are outside there and have not joined the Enact. Give them the last message as we wind up for ending the video.
Whoever is watching this, you are a leader. You are a future leader. You're a leader right now. You have the power to do whatever you want to do. Make sure that whatever you do, you're helping others and that you are taking care of yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, remember you are a leader, and you need to stand up, show that you can manage and identify an issue in your community, try to solve it. By joining Enact, they would show you the more ways to solve different kind of issues. For now, we are going to sign out, and I'm really happy to have hosted you tonight. What next right now is I'm going to ask you to say bye to people who have been following, and we can call it a day.
Bye everyone. Thank you for following. This is D Dundee TV. Please like, subscribe, comment.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, those who have followed. It's been Dr. Erima of the Dune TV with Sophia. For now, we sign out. Please like, share, and comment. Bye-bye for now.
I am so excited for everyone who is here. Thank you so much for everyone who has come, the fellows, the speakers, everyone involved. So I greatly appreciate